during Masters Week, you can wear Masters everything you want to, and it's perfectly acceptable, right? You can have the hat, right? You can pair it with the pullover, the belt, the socks. Does not matter. You can wear as much Augusta logo crap as you want to. But that's the only week of the year you're allowed a double logo. So what we said was...
Welcome to My Gotta Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I are joined by Jason Huggins. We talk about his Georgia story, the Masters, G-Day, and we answer questions from you, our listeners. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned MyGottaPodcast.com to see our latest merch. You can follow us on social media at MyGottaPodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress. All right, My Gotta Podcast back for another off-season episode. It is Masters and G-Day week. So for this, here with not only John Powell, but also Jason Huggins, a.k.a. the Hug Dog. Jason, friend of the show, great to have you on. Welcome to My Gotta Podcast.
Why am I so nervous? The
man speaks. The man speaks
you know what,
to
this
so
is
many
great.
people.
It's my favorite week of the year. My son and I were talking last night driving home from Augusta there together, and he said, "Dad, this is the best week of the year, right?" And I said, "Undoubtedly, pal. It gets no better." And so Masters Week is very special to me. All of my extended family lives in Augusta. I lived there for 3 years. I got asked to work the Masters tournament way back in 1987 and worked for 23 of them. So it was a really special thing. I would get to go back to the tournament and work. I would, my brother and I would get to stay with my Nana, my mother's mom. And, you roll in from a long day carrying camera equipment and doing all this other mess. And there's, a hot cooked meal that had been reheated 5 times because even though we told her we'd be home at 8, she, everything was ready at 6. And then, once, fortunately, once she passed away, and then, you're trying to figure out where you're going to stay at night. And you thought, okay, this is not as fun as it should be, right? It was a hassle. And so now just to be removed and then to go back to Augusta, the minute you walk in the gates, you just forget about everything. And it's a special place, great week. And thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I know John and I, in our text threads, we've been talking all week. It's Tuesday, but, just about the Masters and how attention to detail they have, just going from being there to showing through to social media. I know, John, I don't know how many Masters videos you've texted me already this weekend, but they're all amazing.
Yeah, I decided that I would turn on all the alerts this week. So I'm getting all of the tweets from the Masters and all of the videos. So things that I feel like I never would have seen if I didn't do that. So it's definitely reminding. Like there was a video that came out today, Jason. You probably saw it, but the story of how they started skipping on 16. I'd never heard that story before, and how it started. So the Masters is truly unique, even on social media.
Yeah, seriously.
Hunter and I were talking about that, like TikTok, even like they have a unique presence on TikTok. So
yeah, one of the last years I was there, the current press building, the new one, the Shangri-La that's at the back end of the practice area.
Yes.
I worked in the 2 previous buildings before that. And the original one was like an upside down tomato can buried halfway in the ground, just at the bottom of the hill to number 1 tee box. Now that's a fancy concession stand that looks like it was removed from the French Quarter and then behind that, it just like kind of up the slope where you see the guys doing the live from, they're doing the on-course reporting, and you see the course behind them. That's actually, as you're going up the hill on the first hole on your right, before you get to the hospitality buildings, the old media building was there. So we would cut through the holly bushes or whatever, and that's how we would run into the media building. And we went down to the lockers where all the photographer equipment was, because we were runners for photographers on the course. And we walk in this room, this door was open. What is that? And we kind of look behind it. And it's these banks of servers. I'm talking like banks. We're like, what is going on in there? And that's when were first really doing the IBM Watson like data analytics, and they're pulling everything. And they actually were debuting their social media channel that year. So that must have been it was early 2010-ish. I don't know the exact year or whatever. And we're thinking, what on earth are they doing? And now look at what they do. And of course, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you want to hear, Tuesday at the Masters, and you got to hear everybody doing their deal. And it's the greatest week on the planet.
Yeah. It is nice. You got that. You got G-Day. You got Braves going on. We just had basketball national championship Monday night. Georgia baseball is in full swing. It's a good time of year.
Yeah, John. Jim and I were talking earlier. I had on the 3 TVs back here, and we turned them off so it wouldn't distract everybody. We had Braves, we had Georgia baseball, we had Hawks, we had Golf Channel live from. It was like a sports bar. It was great.
Yeah.
That sounds like an amazing setup.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I know. For us, like when we, sometimes when we have the Braves on, I'll be watching it while we're podcasting, and Jim will be like, "Oh my gosh, John, turn the Braves game on."
Well, I've got a TV over here, but I'm just not telling you about it.
There we go. Amazing. Well, let's get a quick bourbon check. I know. Jason, I gave you a heads up earlier. So new bottle for me, I've got the Old Forester 1910. Had never had it. Bought it, thought I'd open it up. So that's what I brought for the evening.
That's awesome. I've got Old Forester 1920.
Could not. No way.
All right. If you literally blend the two of them and get 1915, it's better than both of the 10 and the 20 together.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to go old school. I'm going to do Elmer T. Lee. If for no other reason, it kind of looks like Ben Hogan. So
there we go.
I like that.
I thought that'd be kind of cool. And I'm drinking out of a unique and special glass. When we started our bourbon project that we've done the last 3 years to raise money for the Terry College, our first barrel pick we did with Makers, and they were nice enough to donate some glasses. And back then we had just won our 21 national championship. So they had the 3 years on the glass for us. And I said, hey, he said, hey, we'll even dip the glass in red. And I said, well, it would be really cool if you dipped it in red and black. And he said, that's a good idea. So Maker's Mark, if you're dumb enough to buy 2 barrels, if you're smart enough to buy 2 barrels of bourbon and pay for it and then sell all the bottles to donate the money to Terry College, Maker's Mark might donate 500 glasses for you to sell to raise additional money. But we're in our 3rd year of the project, and we've raised over $100,000 for Terry College. So it's been a lot of fun. Do some barrel picks, and we get some cool glasses every now and then.
That's incredible. Awesome. That is incredible.
Who was the brainchild of that project?
Well, the majority of the credit goes to Michael Dreyer. Michael's a good friend of mine. It's Dr. Dre Dog on Twitter. And I think Michael and I were probably doing what we are good at, and that was having one of these and just saying, wouldn't it be cool if, what if we did our own barrel pick? And what if we got people to invest in the barrel pick, and we could buy the bourbon, right? And then we could buying liquor in Georgia is a major pain in the butt, but we figured out a way to do it the right way. And so 10 of us bought 400 and some odd bottles of bourbon, and we donated it all. And then we said, okay, now let's sell the bottles at a slightly higher than retail price so that we can take every penny from every bottle and donate it to Terry. And so it's been really cool. First year was Makers. Second year, I'm looking at the bottles over here, 1792. This year we did Knob Creek. And it's been a really fun project. Great way to raise money for the school. And just like anything else, a great idea tends to start with good friends and one of these.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Amen to that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome. You'll have to take a picture and share it with the people of all the different bottles that you guys have picked.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It's really fun. The first year, by the way, we named them. So the first year,
Mm.
we order the bourbon, and wouldn't you know it, we win the national championship. So the Maker's Mark bottle is the name of the bottle is 3318. That's the score of the national championship game.
Yeah.
Uh, the 1792 bottle, we did our own custom sticker that all the national championship logos and the LA winning
Mm.
logo. And that was to be named B2B
Nice.
for back to back. And the guys at Barton actually printed the stickers early. And we're like, really? So I'm like, because we didn't want them to print them too early. And then
Yeah.
this year we did Knob Creek, and we had two barrels. One has a red custom UGA sticker, the other one has a white, and on the front it's Terry Alumni Board, and then Better Never Rest Terry Alumni Board. So we've had a lot of fun with it, and anytime we can raise money for the business school at Georgia, it's a great reason to do it.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. John, do you wanna kick us off with your
We can
your money
kick,
question?
we can kick it off. Jason, we always ask everybody that comes on, and I have been anticipating the answer to this from you specifically, but what is your Georgia story?
So neither of my parents went to Georgia.
Okay.
My dad was a Georgia fan. My dad went to Davidson College and then to Candler School of Theology at Emory. So my dad was a Georgia fan. He took me to my first game. Uh, this guy named Herschel, and so yeah, Georgia was playing Kentucky, and my dad takes me in, and I walk in from the like the breezeway or whatever into
Mm.
the aisle and started to go down and threw up. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm here. Huge. Um,
No way.
so that's my Georgia story. No, it started a love affair with the dogs. I've missed very few home games since then, very few, and then started traveling to more and more away games. And when I got accepted to Georgia, this was back in the day when this was early 90s. And when I got accepted to Georgia, I got accepted to Georgia, but I also got accepted to a couple of other schools. And I couldn't figure out why. I was like, why am I getting accepted? I didn't even apply. I got accepted to Auburn. I got a housing package from Auburn sent to my house to sign up for housing. I'm like, I didn't even apply to Auburn. Am I getting this? And I was a bit of a nerd, and I went to and was selected to attend the Governor's Honors Program way back in 1990. And back then, there were some schools that effectively would automatically accept students that went into GHP. And so,
Mm.
even though I got accepted at other schools, I didn't apply there. But really wanted to go to Georgia, and
Did you get a degree? Did they send a degree along with it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you drive by, they'll throw. If you leave the window down, they'll throw a diploma. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you can give $10 a year to Clemson and have an IPTAY sticker, but no, it was just one of those things where I grew up a dog. I grew up with my dad teaching me the love of listening to sports on radio.
Mm.
I vividly remember, going to bed at night listening to, the Braves on radio, and what he thought was awesome when they were on the West Coast because you had a 10:35 game, so you turn your Clark radio down a little bit, but you could
Mm.
listen to sports. And my dad grew up in Cincinnati, so I grew up a Reds fan, and 700, WLW, you could get it at night, and
Yeah.
I would try to figure out, okay, which games could I listen to or watch growing up. But Georgia was the thing, and it was quickly in my blood. And the minute I went and puked on the steps, I knew that was where I needed to be. And I really have not missed many home games since I was a kid, and I truly love it. And it creates. I mean, it sounds maybe a little weird. It's a little bit of my identity. now. And God love my wife Dana. She understood that from the moment we met, that we get there early and we don't leave till it's over. Now we get there a little late and we leave a little early. That's we have a few responsibilities before and after the game. But my Georgia story is I always wanted to be a dog. I knew how much it meant. My social calendar revolved around it. And to this day, it's, I mean, baseball, I love baseball season. I religiously have alerts set up so I can turn on, Jeff and Dave and listen to them call the games. We got basketball tickets this year for the first time.
Nice.
So it's just something that we love. And when Dana and I graduated one weekend and got married the next, anytime we go back to Athens, it's a magical place for us, and there's nothing better than the University of Georgia and Athens. It's heaven on earth. It really is.
Yeah. Amen. I will say, I think Dana and Kim have that understanding in common. Kim always knew that about me too. So, cheers to them for putting up for that.
Blessing.
I don't know how she has I don't know how she has put up with it for so long, but maybe she's used to it, or maybe she's accepted that's who I am. But it's funny. The last thing I'll say about this is like most of us, I really lived and died with every play, and heaven forbid we lose the game, it would impact my mood for the week. And I wasn't a nice person. I mean, I really was not. And generally I try to be a nice person. So finally one day Dana said, you really need to calm down. I mean, it's going to not be good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you. Love you. And then I watched my son and my daughter and watched how much they got into it, and they were learning it from me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite stories of all time, the year that we played Tech at home, nasty, rainy, cold. And it was the year that Mark Rick screwed up the after we took the lead, and he squib kicked the ball and Tech threw a play and then kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
Is that right? To go to overtime. They beat us. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're about to leave the stadium, right? We're about to walk out. It's me, my brother, Joel, and my son Hampton. And we're just ticked off, mad. And then Georgia comes rolling down the field, scores. And so we had moved down because we were going to leave. So we were at the front of our section, and we're probably second row, standing on the metal stand, watching this debacle happen in front of us. And we go to overtime, and we're like, okay, we're going to get them in overtime. And lo and behold, Tech wins a game, and everyone's just throwing pom. Why do you don't lose to Tech? You just don't do it. Mm-hmm. I know it happens once every 10 years, but I'm never ready for it when it happens. and nobody around me was. So we're walking out. We're just frustrated and mad. And all of a sudden, Hampton starts limping uncontrollably, to the point to where I'm thinking, oh my God, has he broken his foot? What's going on? He's crying. I mean, he's just doing this. I can't move. And I'm trying to put him in the car. And then I realize he's moving okay, but he's just crying. And I said, how bad are you hurt? He's like, Dad, it's hurt really bad. I don't know what to do. I said, dude, if it's this bad, we've got to go to the emergency room. I can't drive you home with you in this much pain. We've got to go to the ER. And he's like, no, I'll be okay. I said, Hamp, we've got to go. Enough. Stop. And he goes, Dad, I just hate Tech. And the reason he got that was because of me. And I thought, I've got to calm down. I've got to stop. I'm causing my son to fake an injury because he's so upset. And we lost to Tech. So yeah, I've calmed it down, and now I don't have to be there at kickoff. I don't yell and scream at the official for a missing holding on every play, and there are very few special Saturdays a year that you get to your best friends on earth in one of the most beautiful stadiums and cheer for the team that means everything to you. And maybe it's a little perspective, but there's nothing better than that. And till the day I die, I will continue to support them and love them and treat every Saturday as though it's as holy as it is right now.
Yeah. No, I had a moment like that. Where I was like, okay, never again. Like I'm getting too upset about this stuff. Mine was with myself. So
Mine was when some friends would not want to watch the game with us, and I had to be like, okay, I'll calm down. I promise.
But you know what though? It's really true because you've got people that you can watch the game with, right? And even then you've got people that you can't watch the game with.
Oh
And
yeah,
and
100%.
you have to be really careful about how you're going to manage that situation. Like, oh, well, we've been invited to so and so's to watch such and such a game, and that's why I told my wife, I said, I'm going to eliminate that. I'm just going to go to every game.
Yeah.
The year we opened at Vanderbilt, whenever that was, 2018 maybe. I don't. It was Dana's birthday weekend because she's a Labor Day birthday,
Okay.
and it was a late night start, first game of the year in Vanderbilt. And so I wasn't going to go. It was her birthday. And I'm pacing all day long. I'm about to lose my mind that I'm not where the dogs are playing. And finally, she looked at me. She goes, if you're going to act like this, I would rather you just go from now on. Just please stop acting like this. Just go. And boom, I got my permission slip. Didn't intend it. So now I just go. It avoids hassle and stress and, worrying about who you watch a game with.
For sure. I have to like warn people, like, because I'll be like, I'm not like, hey, let's watch the game together. I'm like, I'm not sure you want to be around me during the game. So I do that because I'm worse when it's on TV. Like when I'm there, I'm not like the most social person, but I don't freak out quite as much when I watch on TV. I just get more like nervy. Like I get super nervous and like I'm a wreck when it's on TV.
It's so bad. Yeah.
When when you can actually see the open passes and stuff on the
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Or the call that wasn't made, or the call that was made that shouldn't have been. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I know it right away instead of like texting, because right now, like with where our kids are at, a lot of times like I'll be there and Kim won't, and so I'll be like texting Kim. And Kim will actually now she just knows, and she just texts me bad call. Like, so I get the heads up. With that.
That means you found your right mate. So
that's right. That's right.
Great.
Yes, absolutely. So Jason, for you, I mean, like long time Georgia fan. We've been talking about this with our last couple of guests, actually. Just like, being a Georgia fan from when you were a kid, and then seeing us, like, I know like George Foster likes to say, it's not like Georgia has ever really been bad, like in our era, but to be like so close all the time and like just miss it and have it snatched away. And I guess too, like, so where I'm going is like with 2021, just like, what was that feeling for you of getting there and getting to that ultimate destination that you've been, waiting on for so long?
It was surreal. It was surreal, and I can't tell you the number of road trips and I-16 drives where you're ticked off after losing to Florida again or whatever. And you just think one day it will be our day again, but you just wonder, right? You just think maybe it never will freaking happen. And, and so,
never gonna happen.
Yeah. And, we all got our hopes up, after the Rose Bowl, and then we, play Bama, and 2nd and 26 happened. Funny story. That 2nd and 26 play, we had left. We had actually moved from where our seats were originally and gone downstairs because we were thinking maybe
you were feeling it.
Yeah. And I saw the ball go in the air, and I looked down in the corner, and it was Devonta Smith, right?
Yeah.
So he's running underneath it. I don't think I saw him catch the ball. I think I'd already turned and started running out of the exit. And my wife doesn't cry, and she cried all the way home that night. She said, I just don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. So when we went to Indy and we got that thing done, I don't know. It was surreal. When Keeley made the pick, I didn't know he scored. I did not know he scored a touchdown. The minute Ringo intercepted the ball, Dana and Hampton, Garrett, our daughter, wanted to be back in Athens. So we were there together. And the minute Keely picks off the ball. The three of us grab each other in like a little circle, and we're hugging and jumping up and down. Meanwhile, Keely's streaking down the end zone, coming right towards us, and I never saw an ounce of it. And I turned around, I looked at the scoreboard, and I said, "Holy cow, we just scored." I totally missed the whole darn thing. And
If it makes you feel any better, I had a similar experience with Carter.
did you really? I'm glad
Yeah.
to know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no, as soon as that pick happened, Carter and I lost our minds, and I ran straight out the door and started shooting off fireworks. I had no idea. I had no idea.
That is so great. Well, earlier that day we'd walked around Indianapolis, and of course it was whatever 10 degrees.
Yeah, in the freezing cold.
And the crew from SEC Shorts they were in Indy that day, and they were walking around, and of course Hope was walking around in her little yellow dress, and of course she's got like parkas and on over it, but she's still got the little sash. And we took a picture with Hope on the sidewalk, and I looked at her and I said, "You know what, Hope? Tonight's the night that we break up." And she said, "Well, I hope for your sake tonight's the night that we break up." And I said, "We've been too close for too long. Tonight is our night." And I did. I went into that game. We went to this awesome pregame tailgate inside of a baseball stadium. It was really cool in Indy. I don't even remember who put it on, but a big group of us went. And so we were kind of like in the club level of the AAA baseball team in Indianapolis, and they had this huge, tailgate thing set up, and everybody's talking it. And I just kept saying, "God, this is our night. We are ready for this. This is our night." And to see that come to fruition and to just experience that, I think I watched every possible video, every cut up on YouTube of people. We drove back from Indy. I listened to every possible call-in show podcast you could do, and I could not get enough of it because I'd waited so long. And then to come back and do it in 2022 was just kind of like, holy smoke, this is really going to happen.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it in 24, I'm going to be really surprised. I really am. And that's how quickly you go from maybe one day to I expect it tomorrow. And that's a blessing and a curse, but thank God that's our expectation now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
These are the good old days.
That's right.
These are the good old days, but can they just last for, I don't know, 20 years maybe? That would be great. That would be great.
Oh, man.
I don't know how Kirby's going to survive. In today's day and age of NIL and the demands on these guys and the portal, and it's easy to figure out why Saban retired. And I hope and pray that Kirby has an outlet and can find his zen and not stress out to the nth degree. Because if I were anywhere close to that position, I would have lost my mind by now. And I think today's college football is it's a game that we, when we won in 21, that was probably the last real college football national championship, actually.
Yeah, I think that was why we wanted the three-peat so bad, was to just it was literally the end of an era. We're going from 14 playoff to 12. We had already, gotten an NIL and transfer portal, and I feel like this is kind of the last straw. I agree. I mean, man, if you look at Kirby's picture from the day he was hired to now, it's like the before and after president, pictures, right? I mean, it takes a toll. It takes a toll. I do feel like something's got to give. I hope things just kind of settle a bit. I know a lot of people are in athletic departments and such are waiting for legislation, and I wouldn't put my hope in that. Someone's gonna have to figure something out. But what's happening now isn't sustainable. You got Bear Alexander is in the transfer portal again, by the way. I don't know if y'all saw that.
What?
That came out today. So that would be, if he sticks with that and does transfer, that's his third college in 3 years.
Didn't he go to 4 high schools in 4 years?
And he went to 4 high schools in 4 years. Yes, correct. So, and basketball is even worse. You got to relearn the roster every year. It's just, I feel like something is going to change. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel like we can keep going down the path we're at right now.
I was talking with someone today about it, and he said, until there's a major gambling scandal, I don't think it'll change. And I thought,
Well,
huh,
I
never
thought
thought of it from that angle, but yeah, I mean that
Yeah,
maybe that's the thing that tips the scale one way or the other.
could
So
be.
I
yeah,
thought that the Jalen Rashadas of the world, like that get like um, bait and switched by schools where they are
yep,
promised all these monies. Like there's that lawsuit that Florida's up against with that situation. It's those kinds of things that I feel like are going to bring the whole house crumbling down because
maybe.
schools are not going to want to pay money. They're not going to want to have to put up with the whole like the what was the Alabama lineman that transferred to Iowa and then came back after he got
Yeah,
the money from the dealership?
Yeah, Proctor, right? Caden,
Yeah,
yeah,
Caden.
Canyon
yeah.
Proctor. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's really good, by the way. He's really
yeah,
good.
yeah,
But to your point about like, I don't know how Kirby's going to survive. I've heard multiple people, the inside sources talking about, that they didn't think that he would be coaching beyond like 2027 or something like that. Like there's not that many years left in the tank for him in that regard. I've also have heard that, he's got like a mental health professional. Like after the 2017 game, I had heard that Kirby actually had a therapist like with him after the loss to coach him through the, how to process it kind of thing.
yeah. I think
Wow.
that's where a lot of the whole like coming up with the sayings and some of that I think was born out of a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, as soon as he said that he, got his phrase from Nike, I was like, just do it. Why would he use that? And then thank God he didn't pick that phrase. I was like, oh,
Right.
I'm good.
uh,
Thankfully, it's a little bit more creative than that, right?
right. Incredible. Okay, I want to skip to something. This we got a ton of listener questions, but this one didn't come in through Twitter. This one came in through a text message, and I actually want to start with it, Jason, because this is something that I have adopted, and it originated with you. So
Mhm.
we're kind of hoping to get maybe some kind of backstory or something. So this is from friend of the show, Hunter Jones, Hunter Jones on Twitter. New dad, by the way, for those who don't know. Hunter and Magda Jones welcomed their firstborn recently. They have a master's baby, so congrats to the Joneses.
Big
But
Truett. Can't wait to talk about it.
True at the Jones.
true at the
Truett
Jones.
the Jones.
Okay, so Hunter texted and said he wanted us to discuss this with you, Jason. He said, not a question, but I need you to tell Jason that we need an on the record, in depth explanation of the double logo theory and where it came from when it comes to game day attire. And then he said, and what are his absolute favorite game day attire items?
Oh
So, Jason,
wow.
tell everyone about the no double logo.
It came from Augusta National, and when you and the reason why it became a thing was we collectively, along with Fratastic Nation and anybody else that would dare to talk about what you wear or give a crap. It's kind of like during Masters Week, you can wear Masters everything you want to, and it's
Mm,
perfectly acceptable, right? You
mm,
you you can have the hat, right? You can pair it with the pullover, the belt, the socks. Does not matter. You can wear as much Augusta logo crap as you want to,
mm.
but that's the only week of the year you're allowed to double logo. So we what we said was, okay, we're going to apply that to UGA stuff. And I'll be darned if you're ever going to, every now and again, there will be a slight mishap on my part and there will be a slight double logo. Hampton picked up on the fact that Easter weekend we had a little sunrise service, and he goes, "Hey, Dad, you're double logoing," and I said, "Hey, hush, don't talk." And
Awesome.
and so I think it became a thing because we just loved the people that would show up at the Masters and would literally have on soup to nuts Augusta gear. And we thought, you know what? You can get away with it this week. It doesn't really matter. So that extended into UGA and football attire. And I'm a
Mm,
huge fan of the Standing Four
yeah.
logo. Absolutely love it. So I'm I like having this logo up top because I've tried to acquire a few other pullovers like this hoodie or whatever. So like if standing logo goes here, I've got a G belt, a power I like to wear, and then the hat you got to be really selective about how you match that up or what have you. I think number one, it's probably snobbery, and part two, it is just kind of like, you know what? I'm not just going to be like bookstore guy. I'm going to put thought to what I wear to a game because I care and it matters. And I know that's ridiculous, but that's the on the record answer to your question.
Fantastic.
It's just a thing. And now I don't know. I pay attention and I shouldn't, but I do.
Jim, I think this is a great segue to a merch plug.
That's true.
We can help you with the double logo, Jason.
That's true. If you
Yes,
need
you can.
if you need some vintage UGA logo attire, head on over to homefield.mygodapodcast.com and use the code HunkerDown to get 15% off your first order.
Boom. I'm down.
That's it.
So actually, my wife was admiring a very sharp satin jacket that you had on last year, Jim, at one of the tailgates. And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to have one of those." So yeah, we were on the site using our discount last year, and we've already gotten some home field apparel, and it is quite snazzy. And
fantastic.
They put out a great product, but all the way down to like the golf course logo. Hampton, my son and I were talking about the other day. It's really cool. We've got one logo that says a Power G with the cross golf clubs. That's cool.
Yeah.
But the old school bulldog leaning on the golf bag.
Yes.
Freaking awesome.
Yes.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah. That is super cool.
Our buddy Brian from Augusta, he held up a koozie the other day with Georgia Tee Off Club, and it had the old school Georgia logo on it. And I was like, sign me up for that. I want it.
Yes.
And, I'm already thinking, I would put that sticker on my car. I mean, that's really, really cool. I would remove the four-legged dog and I would put that on just because it's great. And it's different.
So like I said, I am like totally on board with the no double logo. And it was to the point when Hunter told me about it, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is revolutionary. Cause like I would very often, it's easy to have, a polo with the Power G on your chest and wear a Power G hat. Like, that's probably what was my kind of go-to thing. Then when I heard that, I was like, oh no, I can't do that. So, so I would actually for a while, I would usually rock the Power G polo with a standing dog hat. Like, cause I do have a standing dog hat. And now I just the other thing that Hunter gave me was like, don't wear the same thing to any like back-to-back games or just throughout the whole season. So I mix and match all kinds of stuff, which I do. Some people have given me grief for like, well, that's like a lot of stuff. I'm like, well, it's an obsession, I guess.
You know what? If that's your thing, God love you. You've got a great thing, right? Because there are people out there that have way worse things that they're doing.
Way worse things.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, true. That's a thing, and that's perfectly fine. But Masters Week, you can triple logo. Doesn't matter.
Got it.
Free pass. You get 1 week a year. So to your heart's content, get after it.
Love it.
But here's what's crazy. Guess what? I did not do. I did not double logo with Masters. Made sure that I had properly.
I noticed.
I made sure that I moved things around in such a way to where it wasn't a double logo.
That's nice. So good. That's so good. Awesome. Okay, Hunter. I hope that did it justice, Hunter. Hopefully, Hunter is satisfied. All right. I think we could just keep rolling through these because we got a pretty good wide range of topics here.
The people love Jason's thoughts.
Yeah. It was amazing. Everything was flowing in. It was pretty quick too. I loved it. All right. Coach Trilbill said, for everyone, who is a returning player you most want to see in the spring game, and then a new player you want to most see in the spring game?
So Arian Smith has gotten a lot of pub during the early spring practice. I thought that the social media video that they showed kind of the ball in flight from Carson, and it kind of zoomed in. It said scrimmage 2, and then Arian's blowing by a guy. That was really, really cool. You know, Arian is one of those guys where I've met him once. He couldn't have been nicer. And he just, for whatever reason last year, it just wasn't happening. He had some plays, but I feel like this might be the year for him. And I would love to see him do that. I know that Marcus was really a strong vocal leader in that locker room last year. But and Marcus is a tremendous dude. What a great young man he is. And so I think Arian maybe has a chance to take that role now that Marcus is gone. So I'd really love to see him break out. And any dude that leaves Florida and comes to Georgia, despite his driving habits, I want to see that, right? And so, is it Etienne? I have no idea. I just call him TDTE. So I want to see that guy really break out, and I think that he could be a perfect table setter for us next year, because there's no way on God's green earth I would want to tackle, Rod Robinson in the fourth quarter. I mean, when I saw what he did to Florida State, I thought, holy moly.
Yeah.
He is a freaking nature and can move, right? So if we can just beat people down for 3 quarters and then say, okay, son, you go run the rock. I mean, people are going to get out of his way. I would.
Yeah.
So, I want to see Etienne get after it.
Beautiful.
We've got like a 4-headed monster.
I know, seriously. JP, who's your returning player and new player for the spring game?
Yeah, Marler and I got into it on with
shocking.
We got into it with the Arian Smith comment as well. I'm like you, Jason. Like, that was when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, please tell me that Carson Beck and Arian Smith are on the same page finally.
For real.
And then Marler was like, he's still there?
Oh, I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah. He's been there. He's been hurt. He's got new quarterbacks, like new coaches. So this is kind of like, this is his swan song, if you will. So I'm hoping that he strings together a banner year for himself.
So I don't think anybody really knows, but if Munden played as hurt as much as he did last year and was as productive as he was last year, and he's actually fully healthy now.
Yeah.
God help the SEC, because he might break some records because he's that good.
Yeah, there was Smile was one of the guys that Jim and I like to watch the YouTube videos for, this guy called Top Billings. And he was very, very vocal about Smile Munden being an absolute beast. And I have a feeling that he was probably not happy with his performance. So if he was hurt, like I would have him down there as well on the defensive side for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I am a little surprised, John. I mean, I know the social media stuff there, Arian Smith's top of mind. I was kind of expecting you to say Anthony Evans, because I know you've been pretty high on him. So I'll throw him in there. Want to see what he can do.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I kind of expect Anthony Evans to do Anthony Evans things, because he just seems like that dude. Yeah, I kind of equate it to when. Do you guys remember when? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Hardman, Mikkel. When Mikkel, like, he gives me Mikkel Hardman vibes. Like, whenever Mikkel got the ball in his hands, he was just dangerous.
I mean, it was like he was shot out of a cannon when he returned that punt in the SEC championship game. It was like, where did that go? Who is that? Like, where did that come from?
No inside information, but I'm sure Anthony Evans is still on our roster after G-Day. I'm worried about him.
Okay.
I think he's one of those guys that, if you think about it, in today's world that we are in, highly talented, not currently scheduled for a ton of playing time, but clearly has enormous potential. What if somebody comes in and offers him, X amount?
Oh my gosh, Jason.
See, these are the things you have to think about in today's college football that I would like to do away with, like this, like one transfer window. Like, I don't want to have to worry about this.
It used to be really cool. If you got somebody's commitment, you go lock them in a closet for 3 months until signing day. You make him sign on the ink, and then he's yours.
That's
now,
right. Yeah,
It's free agency all year long.
It's free agency
camp
all
out
year
in
long.
Herschel's front lawn to make sure he comes to Georgia. Um, and then I don't even know if he's here yet. But I'm always going to be excited to see Michael Jackson just because his name is Michael Jackson. I'm excited about him, so I'll add that one. Okay, then
You can't beat it.
oh,
No.
wow,
Oh,
nice.
God.
Jason, Coach also wanted to. He had some tailgate questions. He's just curious on how you get the how you pull it off with your parking at Tate, and then he's also just curious, like average number of people who attend your tailgate for a home game. I know Coach got to experience it. We brought him by for a game this past season. I know he had a blast.
So the old Lipscomb lot, which is where the Bolton Dining Hall is now, is where we started in '95 when we graduated. And my in-laws at the time lived in Jefferson, Georgia. So we would actually, this was way before all the horrible rules today, but we would drive down on Friday night, leave a car packed with all the stuff, and then Dana's mom would drive us back to Jefferson. We'd spend the night, and then they'd drive us back down the next day, and then we had our tailgate spot. And then in 1998, we moved into the Tate lot when I worked back in the corporate world. I worked with Chevron Corporation, and they were a sponsor of the Dogs, and I was a willing participant in setting up a tailgate for people to come and enjoy pregame festivities. And then fortunately, one of my best friends on earth, he and his family have a huge impact on UGA, huge impact, and so they've been kind enough to kind of allow us to share in that spot in Tate, and there are really 4 constant tailgates in the Tate lot. We all look after each other. And, if someone just, gets their dad's pass and says, oh, I'll get in there really early and, I'll set up a tailgate in this great spot. No, you won't. That's not going to happen. And so we all watch after each other. If somebody's running late, then, we go and make sure that spot is taken care of.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a fraternity down there. And, average game, I have no idea. I can tell you reservations on food, but a bigger game. Let's see, what's the big home game last year?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, it was nuts down there.
It was nuts.
I stopped the head count at 240. I was so nervous, y'all. I was just so in fits over, like, oh my gosh, because Ole Miss is the perfect storm for a tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be there.
Yep.
Everybody's
Facts.
bringing friends, right?
Yep.
But the problem is all your kids' friends that didn't get into Georgia probably went to Ole Miss, and they're all coming to hang out with your kids' friends or your friends' kids, and they're all coming to tailgate, and you have no idea how many of them prepared, ate, or whatever. And so you're trying to judge, like, how do I feed the people that have said, hey, I'm coming, I want to be in on the catering order, versus how many walk-ups are you going to have? And like, oh yeah, sure, feel free to join us. And right. I lost my mind on that Thursday night of Ole Miss week. I was like, okay, reservations are done. I literally can't order anymore. Please stop and be respectful when you go through the line the first time, because there are people that, have asked for food. I want to make sure everyone has things. Yeah. Now, if it's a 12 o'clock directional Tennessee, Middle Tennessee or Northeast Tennessee or whoever we're playing, East Tennessee State, that's going to be, that's going to be probably 50 to 75. And then your bigger games are easily, I'm feeding 200 plus, and we're going to have 300 to 400 before kickoff, because we're the last cocktail before you walk in the gate. And let me tell you, just when you think you brought enough, you have not. And I've experienced it far too often. And you know what though? It is completely a labor of love. And there are guys that just go out of their way to help. And
Yeah.
during COVID, people bought beach houses and lake houses and all this cool stuff. We bought a tailgate house. So we bought a house in Athens, and it's been revolutionary for me because I would leave Atlanta on a game day at 4:30 in the morning to be in Athens before 6 to kind of make sure we were set for the day. And if we had a night game, holy smoke. I mean, there would be times when I wouldn't get home. I would leave and not get back until 22, 23 hours later. But now being in Athens, wake up, walk down the spot, get it all set up, figure out what we need to do, get back, shower up, and then get after it all day. So
Yeah.
it's an honor to be down there. It's a pleasure to be able to get to see so many great friends walk by, and you never know the person that you graduated with 20, 30 years ago that may come by because they know, hey, that's where our group's going to be. And you get to meet their kids, and it's special. It is exhausting, but it is really, it's just something I treasure, and I love it. I love everything about it.
Okay. So because you said that, I have to say this because that happened to me at your tailgate at the Ole Miss game when Matt Haney was there, high school.
Yep.
I wouldn't not classmate. We were 1 year apart, but I had not seen him forever, and we had through conversation had realized that we had that mutual friend, and it was awesome. I remember we took a picture, and I think I sent it to you from in the game, thank you for making this happen.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him in so long. It was fantastic. So I've even experienced that at your tailgate.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, and that's quite frankly, that's one of the points. It's a central meeting place. Everyone knows where we're going to be, and you never know who's going to come by. It's your usual cast of of suspects most weeks, but then every now and again, here will come so and so you hadn't seen in 20 years, and it's like holy crap! I'm so glad you're here. It's great to see you, and it is absolutely. It's a labor of love, and a lot of people put a lot of hard work into it.
Yeah.
The tailgate is a special place.
Yep.
Well said.
Gate. Yep. We had a sign made up that the tailgate tailgate, and that is. We have our own Facebook group because we have to figure out who's coming, and that's what we communicate to people. Okay, this is going to be like a 12 noon East Tennessee State kind of a game. So okay. Hey, it's 12 noon. It's a kiddie game. So everyone bring a brunch item to share and, come and hang out. And then, depending on who's taken down and who's doing what, maybe we'll do post game. And thankfully, technology has gotten a little bit better to where we have incorporated a television because where we are, it's in a hole and you can't get a satellite signal.
Yeah.
So it's been nice to be able to stream a little bit. That has helped to watch other games.
Watch the other games. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I can attest to Jason's labor of love. I believe that you were third or fourth in line on one of the games that I ran by in the morning. I did my pregame run, and I explicitly came by Sanford just to see the tailgate, and I think I ran by and gave you a high five because I noticed that you were in the car. There he is. He's right there. What's up,
Yeah. We start early.
Amazing. Let's see. Brett Belding. We brought him. We brought him to a tailgate this year too, Jason. He wants to know what is the most popular item at your tailgate.
Generally, my bourbon bar. It's pretty.
Can confirm.
Received. Yeah, can confirm.
Matter of fact, the bourbon that you're drinking tonight, that was the first place that I'd ever had it, was at your tailgate.
There you go. Boom.
Nice.
So my favorite tailgate item. I love buffalo chicken dip. Freaking love it. Can't have enough of it.
Good to know.
Yep. Really, really good. Those stupid little nasty mini donuts in the bag. Freaking kill them. Oh my gosh. Like early morning
with
game.
the chocolate on them? Yeah.
I can eat the chocolate. I like the variety pack, like chocolate powdered and like the little cinnamon crunchy thingies. Yeah. Oh, I'm all over it. So any early game we have, and we're doing the kiddie game or the brunch game, um, you can count on the hash brown casserole from Breadbasket in the little Chevron station off of Prince Avenue, and a
Mm.
bag of mini donuts, just so I can just pop them like
That sounds fantastic. That sounds
it's amazing.
fantastic.
That does sound fantastic.
Well, wait a minute. I'm curious. What's your favorite?
I mean, for me, it's the thing that I have to have for every game, even if it's not at a tailgate, if it's at we're watching at home, is Ponda's famous bean dip. So that's the staple. And that I will say, as far as popularity goes, when we hosted the tailgate that we had, like when I was in college, like it was like the bean dip became like legendary in our fraternity, and there were like guys who were like obsessed with it. It would be like, Jim, like, is your mom gonna like send any more bean dip? And that's actually partially why I had to learn how to make it myself to like appease the masses. So.
There you go. John, what about you?
Ponda's Bean Dip is definitely up there at this stage of my tailgate career. I would also say that tacos from the gas station Legends House are quickly rising up the ranks too. But I just a barbecue sandwich. I'm a big fan of barbecue sandwich, and then Chick-fil-A, and I've also done and really appreciate the Little Italy pizza, tailgate pizza. We've taken Little Italy pizza to tailgates before, and that's been amazing.
I've got a great. I think you guys have come to our barbecue tailgates at least a couple times, and we've got a great local hookup in Athens, and his brisket is
The brisket, yeah.
Yes.
oh man, it's freaking awesome. But it's funny how you get like the bean. You got to have the bean dip, right? So one of our dear friends and damn good dogs, Trisha Newton, several years ago, showed up at a tailgate, and she had made they're like little mini pretzels, and you put a Rolo on top, and then you kind of squeeze a little M&M on top of it, and then you just chill them, and it's a little snack that you eat. Well, my family, particularly my son, took a liking to them, and Trisha, God love her, she is incredible. She will show up at almost every tailgate, and she will have, whether she puts them out for everyone to share or not, she always brings some for camp. And I tend to skim off the top and keep a few for myself.
It's a dad tax.
It's a dad tax for sure. But it definitely is part of that post-game victory celebration experience. It's kind of like, yeah, I want to have a good bourbon. I want to, may need something to eat depending on when the game was, but maybe a little Trisha Rolo pretzel treat would be really good with that. And so that's absolutely a favorite of mine at the tailgate, hands down.
How do you feel about Nutter Butters and Buffalo Trace?
You mean this? Yeah. Had never heard about it. Heard about it from Lou and from Jim, and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. That can't be good. And then I had it, and I said, that'll change your life. And so the butters are always at 177 Flint Street. I'll just leave it at that. So always there for post game for sure.
Nice.
And maybe even now.
All right, we've got a bit of a family affair that begins. So you've mentioned Garrett, and Garrett came in with a question. Who's your favorite daughter?
I've got one, so she wins.
So she did say, all jokes aside, although I guess this one kind of blends. So she said, what tailgate food are you looking forward to the most this season? But then she also said, which SEC atmospheres outside of Georgia are your favorite?
Okay, great question. Brisket from Breedlove, Brunswick stew from the Bud Hut in Athens, out by the bowling alley. Really, really good.
Nice.
Really good. And then we started using Cercheros last year to tailgate, to cater. Really good. There's Cercheros, there's Chipotle, there's Willie's, there's all these different. Cercheros was really good.
Nice.
I can't wait to have them back this year. And we also used Fully Loaded downtown in 5 Points. They were phenomenal. They did a great job.
Mm.
So can't wait to work with them again this year. SEC atmospheres. So, I mean, literally, I could spend 30 minutes on this topic because I love tradition. I love it,
Yeah.
and the SEC is so steeped in tradition. It's unmatched, right? And I literally can think about something that I love at every SEC school, including some of the weird ones, right? I mean, it's
Top
true.
five.
Uh, top five. I love going to LSU. I freaking love it.
Mm.
I love the Tiger Band, like the whatever the Golden Girls and the whole that Tiger. I freaking love. I will pull up YouTube videos of college football stadium performances of different bands in the summertime and just crank it up. It's like, okay, I gotta get prepped. I gotta get ready. LSU is awesome. I mean, where else can you eat jambalaya off a boat oar and put it in like a French fry tray and think it's the greatest thing ever? It's awesome. Even though it smells like corn
LSU
dogs.
is my number two behind Vol Navy thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's truly remarkable. There's something amazing about going to Kentucky and being able to do the Bourbon Trail and Keeneland and the whole 9 yards. That is really freaking awesome. You know, Vanderbilt and all the cool things going on in Nashville is really awesome. I love Auburn. I mean, I love going to Auburn. I know so many people that have gone to Auburn, and Auburn is the only tailgate in the SEC where you're friends with your foes before the game and after.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other school that I can do that with.
I would agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love going to Auburn. It's an easy drive. It's an awesome spot. I mean, I love Auburn 363 days a year.
Yeah.
And 364, whatever that works out to. But number one for me outside of Athens is the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. It is special. Yeah, it is unique. It's one of those deals that you plan your fall schedule around, and you know the whole pregame party scene get out of hand. That's not me in any way, shape, or form. But just the pageantry and the coolness of the fact that half the stadium is blue, half is red. I would love to. I've never been to a Texas Oklahoma game in the Cotton Bowl. I'd love to see that. But there's just something about that atmosphere. But more importantly, about the whole week. I mean, last year we went down on freaking Saturday or Sunday, and we're there all week long, and had different friends come in and leave, and you play golf and you do a little work, and it's just I don't know, it's pretty special.
I love it. Agreed.
Jason, have you ever been to the swamp? Just totally out of left field. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the swamp, and fun trivia. I got engaged that morning. So I got engaged the morning that so this was in October of '94, and so we had some family in St. Simon's. We went down for the game because that was when they were renovating the Gator Bowl.
I was just about to say it must have been
the home and home, right?
Yeah.
So we go down, and the morning of the game, it was raining. I mean, it was raining. Not just raining.
I remember that.
It was raining. And so we're Dana and I were staying with her aunt and uncle in St. Simon's, and I said, "Hey, let's go walk on the beach." And she's like, "No, why would we do that?" I said, "Because it's beautiful, and
I can actually hear her saying that.
But it's gonna get better. I mean, I just I saw the weather forecast. Of course, we didn't have phones back then, but it looks like it's gonna clear up, and it's kind of lightened up. And literally, I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go on my own. And she's like, okay, oh my gosh, I'll go with you. And so,
fine.
Yeah, we went over to see Alan, and we were walking on the beach, and we kind of went down the beach, and then when we turned around so we could walk back towards the car, when we turned around, she started walking back this way, and I am down on a knee, waiting to propose to her. And so she comes over and she's freaking out and she knocks the ring out of my hand.
Oh no.
And the ring goes flying towards the water. And I think I said like, oh, the ring. And I literally dive and grab it before the wave comes up and proposed that morning. And so we drove down to Gainesville for the game, and we had back then it was a bag phone, right? So it was $18,000 a minute if you use the bag phone. And
Yes.
so we're trying to call our our family to let them know what had happened. And well, I'm sorry, she's not home. You'll have to call back. And so we got our absolute tails worn out, kicked, and everything in Gainesville that night, and I did not care. Best day of my life.
Amazing.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Hug Dog.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank God she said yes.
Fantastic. Keeping it in the family, Brother Joel has some questions. Man, he's got a list, but some of them I think are shorter ones. But
Hush Puppy?
yes, after your Hush Puppy. All right, so we said, are there two other sporting events that occur at the same time that compete for your attention / attendance and tear your heartstrings more than a G-Day Masters Saturday?
No, not even close, because I mean those are my two loves. The only thing I can think of would be Braves World Series Georgia home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there have been some epic Saturdays when Georgia's played and the Braves have been in a playoff series or something like that. Back in this was we called it Sports Armageddon, but back in 91, Georgia beat a number 6 ranked Clemson team at home at night. Eric Zier's coming out party. The Braves clinched the NLC. They clinched the NL West that night. People were, it was absolutely insane. And by the way, Tech got smoked that day. So it was just a perfect sports day. So the only thing I can think of is Braves playoff in Georgia.
Okay, that's good. I couldn't come up with anything. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
What is the loudest sports moment you've ever witnessed in person? Inside stadium, inside Sanford, or out? Or out?
Okay, inside Sanford Stadium. LSU 2013. That fourth quarter was absolutely electric. Our seats are on the south side. And for the entire fourth quarter, you look at the student section, and it looked like someone had kicked an anthill. It was just like there were just things like floating and moving the whole time. It was awesome. And when Mettenberger got the ball right there at the end of the game, and Georgia had to make that final stand, I think it's the loudest I've ever heard it. Notre Dame in 2017 was really, really good. But strangely enough, it might be 2022 Tennessee. I mean, Sanford Stadium was absolutely on full tilt that day.
It was.
It was loud. Loved everything about it. And outside of it, I've heard some great roars at Augusta, but I mean, that doesn't even compare to some of the stadium. Probably the loudest actually is a Falcon playoff game. I went to a Falcon 49er NFC playoff game in the Georgia Dome. And we the Falcons stopped Garrison Hurst late in the fourth quarter, which was kind of bittersweet. And won that game. And that place was, you could not hear yourself think. It was really loud in there.
Was that was that 98? Sorry. Is that
had to have been.
Yeah. I remember that game. That was the Super Bowl year.
So I guess they won that game, and then that was the game that sent them to Minnesota, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So that game was
okay.
Yeah, my ears were ringing for a solid 2 hours.
Yeah. I totally concur on that LSU game, though. That was electric. LSU games tend to be that way because, like, 2004 was also super loud. 2004, I felt like was it until 13. So yeah,
Reggie Brown just showed
yes, I saw a video of that on Twitter today, and I watched it like twice.
up. Did you really? Nice.
Yeah, it was like every David Green touchdown pass from that game, which there was like 5. So
Yeah. Nice.
let's see. Okay, what is the Squirrels bet at ANGC? Joel wants to know.
Okay. So here's the squirrel bet. So Augusta National built on a former nursery, right? Known for their horticulture. All the holes are named after a bush or a flower or a tree or what have you. Ever seen a squirrel there? No. So if you ever go, bet the person that you're going with. You say, "Hey, I bet you $100 you'll not see a squirrel today." What?
Nice.
Honest to God, in the 38 years I've been going to Augusta National, I've never ever seen a squirrel at Augusta National. And if you just ask somebody that, they're like, "Oh my, I'll take that bet." There isn't one. Maybe maybe they have a squirrel chirper somewhere. I don't know, but no,
okay.
I've never seen a squirrel at Augusta National. So feel free to bet somebody. You'll win the bet every time.
Amazing.
What's the story behind that?
I have no idea.
Just an observation.
I thought as a worker you might have some inside information.
I have no clue.
Is it like Disney where they just like have like this horde of feral cats that just like go around?
Maybe. Nothing is out of the realm of possibility, but yeah. I loved it when a couple of years ago someone said, oh my gosh, yeah, they were like putting ice bags down on the azaleas so they wouldn't bloom early. Like, what are you, an idiot? No, they would never do that. But yet people think anything is possible at Augusta National. So maybe there is a superhuman cat that chases all the squirrels away, but I don't think so.
Amazing.
No squirrels, but just win that bet. It's an easy $100 every year.
That's amazing. I was super curious about that. He wanted to know what's your favorite Blizzard and why.
M&M, no chocolate sauce.
Okay.
Chocolate sauce.
Is the no chocolate sauce? Okay, because I've had this. I've actually had this argument with a Dairy Queen employee. So my favorite is Heath, and the recipe for the Heath Blizzard is the Heath candy and the chocolate sauce. But it can get too soupy if they add the chocolate sauce. Like, it doesn't blend right. I actually had once where somebody kept throwing the Blizzards away because they couldn't make it right. So from that day on, I always ordered it. Heath Blizzard, no chocolate was what I always said. So I once ran into a guy at Perimeter Mall. This guy started like arguing with me. He said, if I don't put chocolate sauce, then I'm not adhering to the Dairy Queen recipe for the Blizzard. And I was like, I don't want it. It's going to be too soupy. He's like, why do you say that? I was like, because that's how people make it. He's like, you've never had me make you a Blizzard.
Hey, did he serve it to you? And like,
yes. So that was actually when that happened was the first time I'd ever actually had someone turn the Blizzard upside down for me. And I'm not going to lie, it was fantastic. But that's the only guy that'll ever let me make one of it. I still order it, no chocolate. So
well, if by chance they had a Girl Scout Thin Mint Blizzard, I would order it like every day, but they don't. But or oh my God, can you imagine if they did Samoas? Holy crap!
Samoa. Now, I could get on board with Samoas, but if you want to brush your teeth and eat ice cream, that's fine with me. But like,
JP, what's your go-to Blizzard?
I mean, honestly, it's cookies and cream. Like we're a cookies and cream family for sure. I will say that someone posted the Nutter Butter Blizzard. I have not had that yet.
I think it was. I think Rue's Dixie Dog tagged my dad on Twitter. Like, have you seen this?
Yes. I'm like that thing is screaming for some Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
All right, last one from Joel. Who is/was the most entertaining Georgia player ever?
Entertaining?
Yeah, entertaining.
Like on field? I meant to tweet him the clarifying question.
I mean, I'll give you mine. I've got a pretty quick. Okay. To me, it's Hines Ward. To me, he entertained me. Always a smile on his face. Played every position on offense, and would block the heck out of anyone. I loved Hines Ward. So to me, it's Hines.
John, what about you?
On field, I'd have to go David Pollock.
That's a good one.
I have to go David Pollock. Yeah. Off field, dude, Brett Thorson is quickly rising up the ranks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I kid you not, I want that boy on the podcast.
For sure.
Oh, man.
Ooh. So funny, Hines Ward. I saw a video of him the other day in the fourth quarter against Georgia Tech when he was playing quarterback, leading us down the field to win.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get away with that throwing motion? It was like, oh my God, this guy's an all-timer, but he looks like he's like throwing a shot put. And
It was
yes,
it was wild.
It's bad. So on field, no Sean. You never knew when that guy just might, freaking B button and jump right over somebody or go flying in the corner in Tempe. Off field was a guy that was before y'all's time, Richard Tarditz. He was a French exchange student that played defensive end, and his nickname was Le Sac. And Tarditz was like this Renaissance man, and like literally he hit Athens by storm, and he's riding around campus, and he's this gigantic dude, and he's on a skateboard, and just back and look up highlights of Richard Tarditz, and you'll be like, that guy was awesome. It's really good.
That name sounds familiar.
I know that name. I can't picture any highlights or anything, but I definitely know that name.
Oh, he was a bad mother. What he was.
I love it. Fantastic. Those are good ones. All right, Matthew Key wanted to know preference between a 3:30 or a night game start.
Oh,
ooh,
3:30.
I'm with you. 3:30.
3:30. Even better when it's 3:30 after time change. So you get best of both worlds.
Right.
That, when you're setting up, when you're prepping and setting up a tailgate before 7 a.m. and the kickoff isn't for 12 hours plus later.
Yes.
It's a long freaking day.
I had so much fun at Ole Miss, though.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. In the fourth quarter,
I was there. I was there
exhausted.
early. I was there early with you.
Yeah.
So 3:30 is just. But I think the other thing that goes with that is you're the game, right?
Exactly.
You know you're the game, and that is that's special.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see. I don't even know what is considered with now. Everything's with ESPN. What that'll be. So
I refuse to accept that the 12 o'clock game is the game. I refuse to accept that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it isn't. But yeah,
it might be up in Michigan, but it's not down here.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously.
Nice. Agreed.
Jim and I talked about this, I feel like last season. Wasn't there like a 4 o'clock game or something like that? Wasn't there like the sweet spot that we were talking about where we had like 4 o'clock?
Holy crap, we just threaded the needle and found the perfect time. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's like, if you can, I agree. Like the 7 o'clock is too late. Everyone's a little too wound up, I would say. And then, but if you can, like you said, Jason, after the time change, if you can end and have the fourth quarter light up Sanford with the 3:30 kickoff or 4 o'clock kickoff, that's the perfection.
Look, if the Rose Bowl can write it into their contract, the only time they'll ever kick off is at 2 o'clock Pacific time because of the, God forbid, the mountains, and how many times does Kirk Herbstreit talk about it? But why don't we at UGA just say, hey, here's what time we're playing. If you want to show it, great. If you don't, screw you. I would love for that to happen because because we can.
I love it. We should just have our own TV contract.
Exactly.
Take the Masters approach.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
You guys don't want to televise it? Fine, we'll do it ourselves.
Exactly. Wait, commercials? We don't need it. I don't care. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, let's see. Bobby Wilson. I love it when questions open like this. He said, "Oh, I can't wait for this one!" Double exclamation point. So love that. Our last guest, Bobby Wilson. Okay, one favorite wine.
Harlan Estate.
Amazing. I love how fast that roll off too. That's fantastic.
It's epic.
Favorite bourbon.
Weller family, or I guess BTAC. So anything BTAC. I'm looking at my selection over there. I think if it's going to be Weller family. However, the Parker's series has really come on strong for me in the last year or so. I finally acquired my first bottle of Parker's last week, and ooh, it's really good. But Weller 12, CYPB,
Mhm.
107, Green Label, doesn't matter. Weller is always good.
I think, John, I think that's you, right?
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
Weller 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Weller 12 is if I could get an endless supply of it forever, I'd be happy with it. 107 would be in that same vein too. You just I never see either of those. Parker's I've seen a handful of times. Parker's is one of those ones that I've been like, oh man, that would be amazing. I've never had it. So
Well, come
Nice.
on over. You can
I've
have some.
heard sold. All right, all
Yeah.
right. I'll see you later, Jim.
Yep. Hey, if I can meet up with you in Coors Field, we can meet up in Peachtree Corner. So come on.
Oh, that's true. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. All right, Masters pick to win.
Scheffler.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's good. He's really good. Although I will say, late yesterday, as we were leaving, we were debating going up to the practice range, and we thought, we'll swing by. We were on 16, and we watched the guys skip balls over the pond for
Yeah.
like 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours, and so we went back over to 13 green and 14 tee. Let's just see who's coming around, and lo and behold, we get Spieth, Thomas, Cantlay,
Mhm.
Harmon, like right in like a 20-minute window. And I don't know what it is about Augusta, but Jordan Spieth just plays that course beautifully. And
Yeah.
I think he could do it. I selfishly, I would like to see Justin Thomas win there, even though he's a Bammer.
Yeah.
I would really like to see him win. And then lastly, if a Bulldog were to win again, like Bubba,
Yeah.
um, I just think that would be so freaking cool. Because I mean, we watched Harris English tee off on 18, and literally, he's walking down, and everybody's barking and go
Yeah.
dogs, and I'm thinking, could you imagine playing 18 holes of golf and all 18 holes, people cheering for your school? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that might be like my top of the top kind of a deal. So, um, Scheffler's playing really, really well, but
Yeah.
I think it is. Ooh, I saw some cool stats. Like 44 of the last 44 Masters winners were not first timers, and 18 of the last 18 Masters winners were not the betting favorite going into the tournament.
Okay. Yeah.
So Scheffler is the
That
prohibitive.
does not bode well for Mr. Scheffler.
No, he is the prohibitive. In fact, the odds haven't been this low since Tiger.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Which that we discussed last one whether Tiger was playing or not, and we do know now he is playing. So
Yeah.
he's out there.
Somebody was quoted recently, and I can't remember which golfer it was, said that this is the best that they've ever seen Tiger Woods play.
Zalatoris.
Zalatoris, that's what it was.
Willie Z.
Happy Gilmore's caddy. He looks like Happy Gilmore's caddy.
Oh my God, he does.
He totally does.
I wish you hadn't put that in my brain.
Sorry. It's not as bad now as when he first came on tour when his hair was a little longer. He really looked like him back then.
Well, as Jeff Lanier on Twitter said, he could use a double cheeseburger from Booger Bottom.
Seriously.
And what's the guy that won last week at Valero? Batia.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
What a great interview that guy has.
Oh man, he's awesome.
I mean,
but yeah, they both need a double cheeseburger. I mean, come on, man.
He really does. He really does. Dude, talk about sorry to go sidetrack on Masters right now, but the story.
It's our podcast. We can talk about what we want to talk about.
The story of Batia being a drive, chip, and putt guy from the Masters previously, and now he wins a playoff in epic fashion, and now to go to the Masters, and dude, that is a great story, and I am totally here for it if he wins the Masters.
So and you know what's crazy is And I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about Augusta National, but it brings out the best in every rider. And you get stories at the Masters that you just don't get at any other major golf tournament. Now, you're going to hear the cool stories about the U.S. Open and being on Father's Day and having a baby, and I mean, there's going to be some cool things that you hear about, but they're just the consistent number of storylines that come out of Augusta is really unbelievable, and I just can't get over the amount of thoughtfulness that the guys bring. And I think part of it is because the way the media is treated at Augusta. I mean, they are treated
Mm.
like royalty. And I was listening to Chip Towers the other morning on 960 with Dave, and he was talking about how he wanted to do a story on Keegan Bradley and Full Swing and like how he was a part of that. And
Yeah.
just the thoughtful nature of the fact that these guys are so intentional about going to Augusta National and writing these stories. I think that's really unique to that event, and I think it's really cool that you've got the drive, chip, and putt thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, God only knows what we're going to hear on live from tomorrow, but it's going to be on all day long, for me. And I'm going to hear something cool I've never heard before, and I'm going to, think it's awesome and want to again at 7 to 9, and then from 9 to 11, I'll watch the replay because that's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Agreed.
put. I'm gonna throw the dark horse, like dark horse to win. Nick Dunlop.
Wait, the Alabama kid.
I'm not sure where he went to school, but he's like 20 years old. He basically just turned pro. He won the American Express Championship.
So he played at Bama. So he played at Bama. He won the Amex, and so we watched him and his caddy both skip golf balls across the pond on 16
Yeah.
yesterday. And he's a tall drink of water. But so is that kid from Tech, Christian Lamprecht. I know I said it wrong, but they are big dudes. And I just don't understand how they get the ball speed. It's unreal.
Right. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, so he's like number one in fewest putts, number two in par five scoring, top 10 national driving distance. Like that's what like I was just looking at like who's like the dark horse. He's definitely like nowhere near the top like betting the betters bet to win or
Sure.
whatever, but he's a dark horse candidate for the courses at Augusta.
I know the
Well,
course doesn't suit his game, but I'm going to be a homer and say Brian Harmon, and much to the chagrin of Brooks Koepka, as Jason, you told me earlier.
oh man, holy smoke. Apparently there was a pretty good little dust up between those two today, so I can't wait to read more about it.
What?
Yeah. It was on the internet.
Yeah. Apparently Brooks was none too pleased with playing with Harmon, who might be a little bit slow and might waggle a time or two. And I think Brian Harmon told him where he could stick it.
Brooks
Yeah.
just seems like the kind of guy that has issues with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about I'll do a shout out for Waitenson's last Saturday, Chris Kirk.
Oh, I saw Scott was following the other day.
Yep, we saw him yesterday. You don't realize how tall he is till you see him, but man, he just punishes the golf ball. Punishes.
I love that all those guys also have the Power G on their bag, too. So,
Oh,
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
heck yeah. So cool.
Let's see. Bubby wants to know. Sorry for the random pivot. Bubby wants to know top 3 non-SEC opponents with whom Josh Brooks and Kirby should work a home and home.
Penn State, Oregon, either Ohio State or Michigan.
I can't disagree with that. I love all those. Michigan's always on my list. We've been there like once. So
I've been to the stadium, but I haven't been to a game there, so it doesn't count in the 52.
yeah.
But have you ever been?
No.
So crazy thing about Michigan Stadium, when you walk in from the street level, you're like 20 rows from the top of the stadium. Everything's down beneath you. It's almost like it's dug into the ground. It's very, very bizarre, and you don't know it until you see it.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, wow, that is really, really weird. And so it it just has such a unique feel to it. It's one of the stranger things I think I've seen out there, because you're just so used to driving up on this gigantic piece of metal or concrete, just standing out from everything else. Not at
Right.
Michigan. It's really kind of cool, actually.
That is cool.
Interesting. That is interesting. I wonder. I
Yeah,
wonder what that would be like to be in a game.
it would be cold. That's what it would be like.
Let's go take over that stadium too.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not?
seriously. Seriously.
I'm in.
That's what we do.
I'm in.
That's what we do. Let's see, Dwight, our buddy Dwight, which, by the way, I'm wearing a Bulldogs Battling Breast Cancer
Yeah, you are.
t-shirt tonight. Protect
Love
the
it.
pups. I think I actually know the first question, which was, how did you and Dana meet?
We met at the Governor's Honors Program back in the summer of 1990. We were both nerds, and so we were vocal music majors, and we met the summer before our senior year in high school, and we started dating at the end of our freshman year in college.
Amazing. All right, and he said in first date. Do you recall what the first date was?
Yes, June
Did
18th.
she steal a steak from you?
Yeah, that was call back to the Frip Dog episode.
No, but we went to Applebee's.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
high. That's high. Fine dining in college.
Yeah, so on an anniversary of our first date, we actually went back and we sat at the same table at Applebee's over at Town Center Mall in Marietta.
Amazing.
And
Oh,
recreated our first date.
right down the road.
street. Yeah, for sure. She's a Marietta Blue Devil, so that's where she was.
Fantastic.
I'd like
Right.
I'd like the hug dog table, please.
Yeah. Yes.
With the double Brutus.
So good. What's your favorite golf course played?
Augusta National, Erin Hills. Number 3. I don't know.
You had me at Augusta National.
Yeah, seriously. Augusta National.
Fantastic.
When did you play Augusta?
January of last year.
Nice.
That's
And it was one of those unique 60-degree January days.
Mm.
It was magical. It was,
I'm not gonna lie, it was amazing.
yeah. Me and my buddy Scott were sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, sir, what would you like for lunch?" And we're staring at the bar. We both said, "George T. Stagg, please." It's perfect. Like, where else are you going to play Augusta National short course, big course, and drink George T. Stagg at lunch? Nowhere but Augusta National. So there you go.
Amazing.
That is cool.
Uh-huh.
I saw the Jason. Have you been to the new grill? Like I've seen pictures of like there's like a new eatery kind of thing at Augusta. It seems like.
Nope, hadn't been.
Okay. Didn't know if it was that new.
No, I don't know, unless it's that new thing across the street with the hospitality deal. I don't know.
Dwight wants to know velvet hammer or old fashioned.
Oh, so Dwight tweeted he was going to play Augusta Country Club, and as many of you know, it's adjacent to the Augusta National. And I said, just do yourself a favor, go to the bar in the bottom level of the club and ask for a velvet hammer. Don't ask questions. He sends me a picture later, and all it is the picture, and all it's a boozy vanilla milkshake. I mean, that's all it is.
Okay.
It's freaking amazing, right? And so he was like, "Holy crap, that was amazing!" And that was on the heels of he was at another club, which might actually be number 3 on my list, but he told me he's going to this other place, and I said, "Yeah, you get the tequila old fashioned," and he said, "What?" All I said was, "Trust me," with like the little emoji doing the little like, "Gotcha." And so good old fashioned's hard to beat, but Velvet Hammer just fixes everything that's wrong with the world.
That sounds phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
I as a consumer of ice cream, I'm all on that. I love ice cream. Love ice cream.
I like ice cream. I like old fashions. I've been kind of partial to the mezcal old fashions lately at the Mexican joints.
Nice work. Nice
Yeah.
work.
Nice.
So Dana's our tequila drinker. So left side of the bar over here is bourbon, right side is tequila. And speaking of bulldogs and battling breast cancer, I'm staring at three bulldog Moscato bottles, all signed by Brock Bowers that we bought at
Yeah.
Bulldogs at their golf tournament for a fundraiser. Um,
Amazing.
Dana loves tequila, but mezcal she can't do it. There's something about the smoke, but
Mm,
whew,
gotcha.
tequila old fashioned is if you haven't done it, trust me, try it. You'll love it.
Nice.
Really good.
All
Really
right.
good.
I don't know if there's anything going on with this one. Trisha Ann asked, "Who's your favorite Rice Krispie? Snap, crackle, or pop?"
Did they do anything?
I don't know.
Which one had the sleepy hat on? Is that
Ooh. See,
Okay.
I can't even remember what the differences are between them.
Um,
Uh,
I'm going with crackle.
Okay.
Thanks, Trishan. That's a good. I have no idea. I wish I had. I wish I had something to like definitively tell you.
Crackle is the one that has the sleepy hat.
Yes. Boom. Got it. Oh.
Amazing.
Snap has the chef hat, and Pop has the I don't know, conductor top hat situation.
Very cool. Okay.
Okay.
Well, crackle it is.
I'm gonna go with Snap. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Just to differ from Jim, I'm gonna go Pop.
There we go.
Okay,
I felt
good.
like Pop would work for you because you had the old conductor hat that you wore to the goalpost game.
That was the driving hat.
The driving hat. Sorry.
Did you wear driving gloves too?
Did not wear the driving gloves. My dad did not give me driving gloves for that outfit.
Got it. What about driving shoes?
No driving shoes either.
All right, I think this can be our last one, and this also from Trisha Ann, but I think this is timely based on something that happened on Twitter recently. What's y'all's stance on the black jersey hype? So what I'm saying there is, I don't know if you've seen the Georgia equipment. I think was it today? Was it today or yesterday, John? I know we texted about it. It doesn't matter. It was
April Fool. I thought it was April Fool's Day when they posted.
Oh no, but they've done it again. So they did another video like this week that said, you asked and we delivered, like black jerseys, and they're like laying down like red jerseys and black jerseys, amongst the different teams. So they love to troll us and show us the black jerseys. Yeah, the April Fools was that was actually I thought that was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. So probably have a little too much insider knowledge on this, but I think they're very good at getting eyeballs. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. My stance is what they should do, which is not what they will do, is that if you're ever going to wear them again, just tell everyone before the season, because I feel like the reason Kirby doesn't like it is he sees them as a distraction and like all the hype leading up to the week or whatever. But if you just say before the season when it'll happen, like we did in 2016, that goes away. That's my take, but whatever.
I 100% agree with you, and
Yeah.
I feel as though it should. If I were czar for a day, right? I would make it really simple. I would tell my seniors, look, guys, if we go undefeated at home in your senior season, and you want to wear black jerseys in your home finale, it's your pick. You make the choice. It's totally your call.
Yeah.
And I would just love that to put it in the hands of the players, because those guys absolutely love the cool, the white helmets that they do for the pictures when the recruits are there in the black jerseys. Those kids love that kind of stuff. But but Kirby doesn't. He does not want the distraction. He just, Georgia wears red. I mean, that's the end of the story. But I think it would be cool if they had the option to decide that. But I think what the football equipment feed is doing is just creating excitement, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And by the way, those guys work their tail off. They really do.
I think they're good at what they do. Their social media accounts are fantastic.
Yep. They work really hard. They're unsung heroes for sure.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with uniforms. I would love it. I would love that they would just like you mentioned earlier, the SEC is just shrouded. You love the tradition, you love the pomp and circumstance.
Mhm.
Like there's tradition behind everything that we do in the Southeast, right? In
Right.
SEC football. So make it a tradition. If you make it a tradition, then it becomes part of the lore. And the same way that the battle hymn, the lone trumpeter before the game wasn't
Hmm.
part of our lore until we made it a tradition. If
Yep.
you make it red pants at Tennessee is our tradition, black black jerseys at home against Auburn is our tradition. Like just do it.
Yeah.
Light up Sanford. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, you're so right. And I'm just afraid. I'm what am I saying? Afraid. I'm thankful.
Munson is dead, Jason.
Yeah.
Totally doing it. But you know what though? I mean, Kirby Kirby cares, right?
Yeah.
Kirby
Yeah.
cares, and he realizes that all of those things are things, and he doesn't want he wants to keep the main thing, right? And he doesn't want anything else to go around that. And if by God that's what he wants, then I will stand behind him 100%.
In Kirby, we trust.
In Kirby we trust.
Truth. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that exhausts our listener questions. They were fantastic. We got to weave through all the stuff we wanted to talk about. So
Cool.
that thanks to everyone who reached out. Like I said, we got a huge reaction when we said we were having you on, Jason.
I, thank you. I think.
That's how I took it.
I
Yeah.
think it's just a testament to you and your legacy. So
Well, I don't
we
know what.
appreciate your hospitality. We cherish the friendships that we've made through the podcast and through the tailgate, and so you've been a big part of that. My son has been able to partake, and you have in turn kind of helped pass down some of the things that are now important for my family. So I appreciate you very much.
Well, yeah, golly, my pleasure. I think the greatest thing about social media is the concept of new friends that you meet that way, and oh my Twitter friends. What what does that mean, right? And it's like, well, these are people that you communicate with that you may or may not know personally, but yet somehow you get to know them, and you realize that they're just like you. They just don't live next door, or they don't play golf in your foursome, or whatever. But yet they're just like you. And I did see a couple of the questions that came in, and some were like favorite this or whatever else. And I did kind of think about it ahead of tonight. And I think the biggest thing I wanted to say is, my favorite something is when I get to share it with people that I care about. It could be
Yeah.
it could be a piece of crap bottle of wine, right? But if I'm sharing it with really great friends and we're having great conversation, or we're, talking about the dogs or our favorite whatever,
Or snap, crackle, and pop.
or or my man Crackle, then it just, I don't know, it makes everything that much better. And for all the ills that social media has created, and I think it is it's sometimes it's an absolute toilet bowl. I'm so thankful that it has provided a platform for people to connect on a subject and really truly become friends. And I'm so grateful for the platform that you guys have. I listen every week, and I always want to hear the little quips or the inside jokes, because you pick up on it, and you know who you're talking about, and it makes it so much more fun. But more importantly, it's become a community, and you just look
Yeah.
at what's possible when people get behind a movement, and it's really amazing. And you look at some of the money that's been raised for families in need, or you look at the things that have been done, or the experiences that people in our network have provided for other people, and you are able to connect through social media, well, for that, I say I'm all in. And I think it's amazing. And I think the community that it creates is awesome. And you know what? If you swing by the tailgate, I promise you, I will be there to welcome you. And I just appreciate you guys doing it. It's really fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Jason. Amen. You've welcomed, my family to your tailgate as well. I think my dad and I came by for the first, it was just the two of us. I remember texting you like, hey, like, can we swing by tailgate? We'd love to come meet you. And then now it's become like a thing. Heck, it's led to Lily and I coming to Bulldog Brunch with y'all and your family.
Oh my gosh!
So it's been fantastic.
Hey, John and I were at Coors Field together for the Braves.
Yes, holy cow!
Coors Field.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's amazing.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Like you do hear so much about what's bad with social media, and I don't disagree. There aren't bad things, but I think our relationship we've developed with you and so many people and everyone that we've gotten through this platform, I think are evidence of the good that can come from it. So
it's a real blessing.
To hear you say that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we get to tell our wives, see?
They're real people. They're nice people.
So good.
Yeah. These are my Twitter fans. What? Yeah. Trust me, they're real people. And you know what though? But here's the cool thing. You said you get a DM from one of those people, or you see a tweet, and guess what? We all come running to help. And that's what this world's about. And it's about helping other people. And if that's a platform for making someone else, have a great day or smile when they're having a tough day, or just giving them a reason to take their mind off of what they're dealing with right now, sign me up. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Amen.
Dog Twitter is undefeated.
Amen.
Undefeated for sure.
All right. I don't know what else I can add to that other than cheers to that. Jason, John and I have talked about this for a while. Wanted to have you on. This was I truly now, even after having this conversation, more so feel like this was the perfect week to do this. G-Day and Masters with that combining. Loved all the conversation. It was fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute blast.
Well,
agreed.
The pleasure was mine. Appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for what you do. And we'll see you real soon.
Awesome. Sounds good. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Nutrafol, we don't just help your hair, we help your body grow it. Because it's never just about your hair. It can be your job, or your deodorant, or your lunch, or just normal life. That's why our whole body approach targets the key root causes of hair thinning. Discover your root causes and why we're the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. These statements have not been approved by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease paid for by Nutraceutical Wellness, Inc.